Boom, 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 boom. Da, da, da. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, my people. Welcome, 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 family, to the Mental House with me, your host, Khadija. This is um, going to be a video that is kind of, matter of fact, it's all the way close to home. And I know a lot of y'all, it's going to be close to y'all house too. Now, whether you want to admit it or not is another thing. And the reason why I'm coming with this is because I was talking to some friends and they were like, you know what? This is everything that has happened to us. Um, you know, we know this stuff. This is what's been done to us. So now how can you now use this as therapy to say this is what's wrong with us? And they said, the same people that invent the problem, create the problem, and then penalize you for the problem and then give you the so-called elixir to fix the problem. I get it. I get it. I get it. But what I still contend, y'all, is as an individual. See, there's certain things you have to have, in my opinion, collective thought about, and the majority of the things, a thing that come from a self-help or a self-redemptive type of situation of, or I want to lose weight, or I want to get healthy. Um, those are individual thoughts, ideas, right? Okay. So this is the mindset I take when it comes to kids growing up in high conflict families. Most of us grew up like this. I'm gonna be the first one to admit it. I definitely grew up like this. You know, I remember my parents arguing all the freaking time. And I try to think, um, and I think I was well of a teenager, maybe 17, 18, when my parents, or maybe a little older, when my parents got divorced. Okay. And so up until that point, I was living in a so-called two-parent household with overly religious parents. Um, and in my opinion, it was so young to have tried to get married and raise a family, but that's what people did back then. Okay, so it is what it is. It's what they did, and it's what happened to our family as a result of their ignorance, basically. Okay, so I can imagine, you can imagine like some of those generations before, they had other things, a lot of things on their mind, a lot of things that had to happen. And plus you was in the agriculture, I mean, you was in the agriculture uh society. So you was just breeding kids, and you had them out in the field working what you doing X, Y, Z. And sometimes I mean, you didn't have time to worry about what their personal health and their mental health. You didn't do that kind of stuff because your work didn't dictate that you could do some of these principles. Maybe if you didn't have the stress on you of working for, or being in a press situation, um, maybe you would have. But 9 out of 10 times, you could not raise your children this way. So I'm not blaming um, people for their condition. I just want to make that uh, clear, and I'm not blaming victims. Okay, so let's just get that out the way. But I ran into something, and I wanted to share it with you. And it's by what is her name? Sneed. What was her name? I think her name is Kim Saeed. Yeah, Kim Saeed. And I was at her on her site today, and I was just seeing a lot of different, some information that I wanted to share with y'all. Okay, so do what you will. And this is gonna probably be like in two parts. Okay, so all right. She says living with a narcissist parent can be devastating, complicated, and downright toxic for children. The home, which should embody a comforting place, of safety and love, resembles a quasi battleground where there is only one clear winner. Wow. Furthermore, many of these wounded children grow up falsely believing that their home lives were normal and acceptable. Okay? Let me repeat that. Furthermore, many of these wounded children grow up falsely believing that their home lives were normal and acceptable. Like all this, I want to be hard, and you got to teach them how to be hard. Uh, beat him up. I'm like, what the fuck? Hit him in his chest, because you got to be hard. Yeah, all that's insane. Just like when you try to make a dog just totally psychotic, that when you're walking down the street, he's snapping at people like American Werewolf in London. But anyway, um, with that said, they experience aching and painful needs that may feel bottomless in their adult lives. Following are 7 things that narcissistic parents can never provide for their children. Attunement to feelings. Wow. Children learn how the world works through the almighty lenses of their caretakers. Research rooted in attachment theories show that when a caretaker attunes approximately to a child's emotion, the parent validates whatever is in the parent's best interest. Right? Okay. Um, the narcissist parent may punish children for crying, shame them for experiencing fear, and even quell them when expressing too much happiness. In other words, children learn that their feelings are erratic and unsafe. They learn that they are a source of problems. And I'm just trying to say, because I'm trying to do this because it's important that we know that most of these things and people that we characterize as crazy, it has an origin. Okay, it has a genesis. And we got to talk about it, especially in our community, because we think a lot of crazy shit is normal, and it really ain't. It is not normal. It's so far away from normal, I can't even begin to tell you. Okay, for this reason, many children grow up believing that their feelings must be suppressed. To achieve this suppression, we see many children of narcissistic struggle with substance abuse, eating disorders, self-harm, and other impulsive or compulsive lifestyles. After all, if they've experienced compounded years of condemnation for having feelings, why should they feel safe within their own emotional selves? Why? Oh man, this is heavy, y'all, because this is almost like pulling a scab off of a wound. So I want y'all to feel me. Children have fickle and temperamental personalities. One moment they love ketchup, the next moment they detest it. One day they want to become an artist, the next they're telling you they intend to sign up for the military. According to children and childhood development research, these identity shifts are both normal and healthy. As children grow, they seek to establish their own identities and understand that what their proverbial place in this world really, really is. Subsequently, they need support and reassurance from their caretakers that they are allowed to engage in this process. However, in a narcissistic household, high conflict, whatever, I hate you overusing that word narcissist, but in a crazy house, this freedom for flexibility, it just don't exist. The child must conform to the parent's wrath or face serious consequences. The narcissistic parent holds a rigid view of how their children must act and behave, and is typically a mirrored version of what the narcissist is. This parent cannot tolerate outside peer or societal influence. Furthermore, this person cannot, mm, I mean, simply put, this person cannot allow the child to have any autonomy. Think of most religious groups and churches and shit. How you was raised and how you had to sit in church as a 2-year old and a 3-year old all day. And if your ass moved around, you would get in trouble. You would get a spanking. You would get whooped. Ah. And it was an usher that was doing it, or somebody that your parent probably allowed to do it. Tell the truth, shame the devil. We'll be right back.